there, this is Popular Stranger, and we are back at you again today with another Madden 20 Ultimate Team video. In today's video, we're going to be going over all 6 of the NFL All-Stars part of the Harvest promo that's going on. And I'm just going to throw out some stats, give you some ideas on if you should go with these cards, if you should complete the sets. We'll give you some numbers and just some good information. Also, later on tonight, there will be an announcement for a NFL 100 Legend. It's going to be by EA. I think they said somewhere around 9:15 Eastern Time. It'll be announced on Twitter. Mutthead will be announcing the Legends that are coming out. But it looks like for the NFL 100 list, which debuts tonight on NFL Network, I believe at 9 a.m., they will be announcing it. So it seems like we're going to be getting a couple, maybe one legend every week or every time this NFL 100 team is announced, which hopefully means we're going to get some good legend cards coming into the game. I'm looking forward to it. I kind of thought we might get a Harvest Limited today, but that did not happen. Maybe Sunday. Maybe it's going to be like Most Feared. We'll have to wait and see, but at least we know we're getting some good cards probably coming tomorrow, starting with the regular Legends and, of course, the NFL Legends. So let's get on into it. Thanksgiving Day All-Stars, and let me thank you guys all for checking out all my content yesterday. We worked really, really hard, put out 4 videos. You guys have been showing the love by just the number of views that they are getting, new subs coming in. What's up, everybody? All of my new subs that, may have come through. What up to all the old OGs too? Notification Squad, you guys are amazing as well. All right, we're gonna give a group of people a shout out for every video going forward. That's what we need to do. So, Thanksgiving Day All-Stars. What are these cards? They are 90 overalls, and they are all from a team that plays on Thanksgiving Day. So we have Lions versus Bears, Falcons versus Saints, Bills versus Cowboys. And they all have a 90 overall card right now in game that you can achieve by completing their set. And if they meet 1 or 2 of these objectives on their card, which you can see under, towards the bottom of this graphic, they will get a +1 overall for each one that they meet. Meaning if they get 1 of the 2, they'll be a 91 overall. If they get both of the objectives, they'll be a 92. If they get neither, they'll stay at a 90. These upgrades, I believe, are supposed to happen on December 3rd, so we'll talk about that in a moment. But let's just talk about the pricing, okay? So this is a very, very average number, and it is on PlayStation. But to complete these sets, they take 3 86 to 89 overall Harvest cards. As of earlier this morning, the 86 to 89s were going for roughly about 58K. Now, of course, you can do what I just literally did there and search and probably find one for 54, 55. But I would say on average, they're going for about 58K. It takes 2 82 to 85s. Those, I would say, on average, are going for about 15K. Right now, they seem to be up in price, but they were about 15K earlier today. So if you add that all up, that's about 174K for 3 of these, and another 30K for 2 of those. I calculated that about 204,000 to build out one of these cards. That's a 90 overall. And the only thing that's guaranteed about all of these is that they will be at least a 90 overall. So do you want to pay 204,000 coins for a 90 overall? If you look at the current market, and this is even with prices kind of inflated right now because everybody needs training for this promo, 90s are about 130K, 91's about 170K, 92's about 255K. Again, this is an inflated market right now, but you see the difference here. A regular 90, about 130K. One of these 90s, 204K to build. Now, of course, they have the potential to go up. But you want to be careful there. Also, keep in mind that once these cards do get their potential boosts, or they don't, they're going to become auctionable. I think the target date is December 3rd. In my past experience with this type of program, say Kelvin Ridley gets both of these objectives, he gets a 92. Everybody who had this card is still going to dump him on the auction house the moment they're able to sell him. It's going to be undercut city. So in my opinion, though I'm going to give you all of my suggestions and input, I wouldn't touch any of these. Now, if you're a theme team guy, or if you want a favorite player on your favorite team, or he's just a player on your favorite team, I totally understand. If you're a Bills fan, a Packers fan, you want Micah Hyde. If you're a Falcons fan, you want Ridley. Go for it. I totally don't blame you for doing that, but I would just proceed with caution. So let's go through all of these cards. We'll start with Dak Prescott. His objectives are 250 passing yards and 3 total touchdowns. So I looked up the stats. Out of 10 games this season, Dak has reached 250 passing yards 7 of 10 times. Okay, so that's not bad. That's really, really good percentage. If I had to guess, he would probably do it on Thanksgiving Day at home against the Bills. But we'll talk about the Bills defense in a moment. Dak, three touchdowns, 3 total touchdowns in one game. He's done that 5 out of 10 times. That's still pretty good. That's 50%. So the likelihood of him getting a 91, in my opinion, is pretty high. 92 is going to be close. I would say 50-50. But if we take a look at the Bills' defense, they've only allowed 2 passers to get more than 250 passing yards on their defense. Looks like they've struggled a little bit more with the run. And I do want to throw a disclaimer. I don't watch none of these teams as much as I watch the Eagles. So a lot of this, I'm just reading into stats. If I say anything wrong, don't shoot me. I apologize. I'm sorry. But again, looking at the Bills defense, they gave up 260 passing yards against the Browns and 256 against the Dolphins. That was the last 2 weeks. Previous to the 2 weeks before these last 2 games against Dolphins and Browns, they have not allowed a 250-yard passer. So that's pretty interesting. I think Thanksgiving Day, it's in Dallas. I could still see Dak getting the 250, but not the 3 touchdowns. So I think Dak gets to a 91. Moving on to Micah Hyde, 4 total tackles and 1 interception. 5 out of 10 games this year, Micah Hyde has gotten 4+ tackles. 50%, pretty good odds there. He only has 1 interception all season, so 1 pick in 10 games. The odds of him getting a 92 to me seem very, very slim. But I mean, the interceptions, we'll talk about that when we get to Marshawn Lattimore. That could be a total fluke, random thing. Like, it's hard to gauge a stat on that when a guy has 1 interception for the whole year. So that's going to be a tough one. I would stay away from this card. I don't think he's going to get the interception. It's not even that I don't think. It's just the likelihood won't happen. Calvin Ridley, 40+ receiving yards gets him a 91. 100+ receiving yards gets him a 92. So Calvin Ridley, 40+ yard games, 6 out of 10 games this year. Very good percentage, 60%. But getting over 100 yards only twice in 10 games. So that's a very, very low percentage. Previous matchup against the Saints, which I think was 2 weeks ago, November 11th, he only had 28 receiving yards, so he struggled there. The Falcons, I think, played really good defense that game. I don't remember what they did offensively, but even though it was a win for the Falcons, he only had 28 yards. I looked at the Saints defense. They've given up 4 100-yard receivers this year, and I think it was the very first 4 weeks. If I'm wrong, I apologize, but I think I looked through the stats, and the Saints, the first 4 weeks, or the first 4 out of 5 100-yard receivers. Since then, they've been locking it down. So, in my opinion, for this one, if he gets a 91, his 90 has a 91 speed. If he gets a 91, it's going to be 92 speed. If he gets a 92, it's going to be 93 speed. In my opinion, unless you're a Falcons fan, just go buy John Brown. John Brown is about $230K, so he's a little bit more than that $204K it would cost to build this Ridley. But even at a 92, I think Ridley would not be as good as John Brown, because Brown has better deep route running. His catching is slightly better. I just think you're better off buying John Brown. If Ridley hits both of these objectives, which he can, he might be equal to a Brown. But if you don't want to put any risk involved and you're looking for a speedster, go buy John Brown. All right. The other game for that is the Saints versus Falcons. This is the game we were talking about. We got Marshawn Lattimore. He needs 1 pass defended and 1 interception. I think the pass defended is pretty easy for him to get. He has 10 on the year. I wasn't able to find stats, a game-by-game breakdown of how many he's had in each game, but he's in the top like 15 in the whole league in passes defended. I could easily see him getting that. As far as interceptions go, just like Micah Hyde, he has 1 pick all season long. He's been playing great. You know, I think honestly EA did him a disservice by giving him this card. I would have much rather seen him get like a 92 overall, 93 overall. Even if they would have waited and gave him a blitz card that's better, I don't like that a card that a lot of people have been waiting for was a Thanksgiving Day All-Star card. The other thing is that the stats on his 90 are not that good. I mean, he has like 82 zone, 82 play rec, 82 awareness. Even if they bump him to a 92, the card I don't think is going to be that great. It's going to be great for speed and man coverage. So if you need him for a specialty, a certain thing you do in your defense, he'll be great for it. But I think they really disrespected this card, and he's one of the best corners in the league this year. Also, he's been injured. I don't even know if he's playing this week. I don't know if he'll be playing Thanksgiving Day. We'll have to wait and see what happens with that, but that's also something to be aware of. Last game, Lions versus Bears. We got TJ Hawkinson for the Lions. This one's a little tough. I don't think many people will do this because the majority of people I feel like all Lions fans probably have his rookie premiere. And if you're not a Lions fan, I don't know if you're really rushing to get this card. There's so many other tight ends out there that you can pick up. His objectives are 3 receptions and 1 total touchdown. 6 out of 10 games this season, he has received gotten at least 3 receptions, so 60%, very good. 2 out of 10 games, he has 1 touchdown. Last matchup on November 10th against the Bears, he had 3 catches for 47 yards, so he got the catching objective, but not the touchdown. We'll have to wait and see, but this one is probably one I would pass on because he's rookie premier, because he's just not really a desirable item, and the likelihood of getting to a 92 doesn't seem extremely high, especially because Matt Stafford isn't playing either, so he's rocking with a backup. I think he probably has a little bit more chemistry with Stafford, so I would pass on this one. And then finally we have Mr. Roquan Smith, 6+ tackles and 1 sack. 6 tackles gets him to a 91. A sack gets him to a 92. This one, if anything was a lock to get a 91, I would have to say Roquan Smith. Out of the 9 games he's played in, 8 of them he's had 6+ tackles. 8 in a row. So the very first game he played this season, I think he had 5 tackles. Every game since then, 6+. He had an 11 tackle game. So the likelihood of him getting 6+ tackles to me is very, very high, especially because the Lions are rocking a backup quarterback. I could see them trying to run the ball a lot, which is going to give him, he's going to be up there around the ball carrier a lot, okay? As far as getting a sack, he has 0 on the year. I don't even think he's really known for, going after the quarterback. Again, I could be wrong. I don't watch the Bears enough. I just like to watch him when they lose to the Eagles. So I don't know. The thing about this card is that it does have the potential to be pretty good. Very, very similar, though, to a Mutt Heroes Deion Jones. The only difference is Deion Jones, I think, is a little bit better in pass coverage, whereas Roquan's a little bit better in run coverage. But he's going to be fast. I think this 90 has 80 speed. This 90 has 87 speed. If he could get both objectives, we could see an 89 speed linebacker. With chems, we could have him in the 90s. He'd probably be one of, if not the fastest linebacker out there. So I think anybody who's going to go after this card's got to be rooting hard for him to get that sack, because I'm pretty sure he'll get the 6+ tackles. If you had to bet your money on any of these, I'm probably going with Roquan, given the stats that are going to be achievable and the output of the card that the 92 will be if he achieves them. So that's my input on him. If you disagree, let me know down below in the comments section. Let me know if you're going to even go with any of these, or are you just going to pass and maybe try to buy them off the auction house on December 3rd. Any questions, hit me up. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Once again, my name is Popular Stranger. I'm out. Peace.